long, straight black hair, and she was about a 4-footer,
Okay.
and she had beautiful black skin, real dark skin, beautiful little tiny little lady.
Okay.
hmm And back in those days, the old ladies used to wear the long dresses all the way down to their ankles, and the boots.
Mm-hmm.
You seen these boots like the slaves used to wear. That's the way my grandmother used to dress.
So we can conclude by just telling who your siblings were.
Okay, I had it was my we had 8 kids in our family. I was the sixth child out of 8. My oldest brother, his name was I forgot what his name was. I can't think of it right now.
Yeah.
But because he died at
Yeah.
9 months and we didn't know him. Sure can. I think he was born. He was named after my uncle Tug.
Tug.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And my next oldest sibling was my sister Bernice, and she died at the age of 31. She had 5 children: Curtis, Catherine, Michael, Charlotte, and Conrad. And my next eldest sister was Barrett McCallum Petrie. She had 3 children: Winston, Barbara, and Gloria. And the next one was a boy, my brother, Clarence McCallum. He was a professional musician.
Played the bass.
He played the bass fiddle. And he traveled all over the country with Big J McNeely. He died at the age of 28. And by the way, both of my two of my siblings died from kidney failure, and it was attributed to that high blood pressure. And back in those days, they didn't have a cure or a treatment for it. So they died very young of kidney failure. And the next one was after him was Dorothy.
Okay.
Dorothy Nell McCallum, and she died at the age of 59 of ailment contributed to high blood pressure. It run in our family: asthma, high blood pressure, um, and then I'm after Dorothy. Um, then after me is Ernestine.
And who are your children?
My children, I was married to Walter Lykes, and we had 3 kids. We had 3, but one of them died. I had a miscarriage at 9 months. At 8 months. The eldest was Walter, Walter Jr., and his sister Trina, Renee Lykes. And the last baby I lost at 8 months. It was a stillbirth. And I'm now presently married to Gladys Coleman, a nice person that I met in Chicago. And I already said we relocated to Mississippi in 1999. And what else you want to know, John?
You go down to you were going down the list of your siblings. You didn't finish.
I wish I could.
Oh,
You
Herbert.
stopped at
I forgot about Herbert. After Ernestine, Herbert McCallum, he was in the Air Force. And he passed away of a heart attack in 1990. And
I wish I could be.
He had high blood pressure also and heart problems.
And younger than under Herbert is who?
That's the last one. He's the last one. He was the baby of the family.
Did you say Auntie Ernie?
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Auntie Ernie came before Herbert.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Thank you. Is there anything else you would want to say to people? What sums up your life or?
Well, I feel as though I've been blessed. I've had a very good life because I was so fortunate to have sisters and brothers, and we have always been very close. My mother and father impressed upon us how important it is, how important family is, and how to stay close and love one another, and to keep God in our life, because we were raised, we had spiritual parents. My father always went to church. My mother didn't go to church, but she was a praying woman.
my ball.
She didn't have any clothes.
Say something.
And back in those days, people were so poor, they put everything on their children, and they didn't have anything left for themselves, so she put everything on me.
James, do you have anything to say to your grandmother, to your great-grandmother?
Yeah.
What do you have to say to your great-grandmother?
I wish I could go to Chicago with my great-grandmother, and I wish I could say everything to my grandmother.
Your great-grandmother lives in Mississippi right now. I live in Chicago.
You want to go to Mississippi with your great-grandmother and your great-grandfather? We would love to have you come and visit us.
Grandpa Frank, do you want to say anything to the camera?
Oh, yes. And you can meet new people, new friends down there.
What do you have to say to the camera, Grandpa Frank?
We
Say something.
I was born in Tupelo, Mississippi in 1935.
No, don't say that. Say something else.
He's giving his story, James.
And we did farming back in those days.
James, don't do that.
We did farming back in those days.
Thank you.
We raised hogs, cows, chickens, ducks, geese, and turkeys, and pigs.
And had your own eggs.
We had our own eggs. We raised all our collard greens and corn. We had collard greens and cornbread and peas.
So what made you move up north? And
Well, back in the 50s, late 50s, there wasn't no work in Mississippi. So I moved to Chicago, and I got me a job. I got me a job in the steel mill. I worked there 14 years, and then I left the steel mill and went to the canning company, which was named Kerr Glass, at 1624 West 16th Street. And I worked there 22 years. And then they went out of business, and I worked for the railroad about 2 years. Then I worked for the parking.
so have you ever experienced racism in your life?
Oh yeah, we was born during the racist time back in the 30s. But we was able to survive it.
You was able to survive.
We was able to survive it.
So what have you experienced? Can you think of any particular story that was where you experienced racism?
Yes, I experienced racism in Chicago at 63rd and Cicero.
What happened?
Me and a friend went in there one day, and we gonna have a beer. They was having a party, and we had a couple of beers, and a little guy came up there and told us we had 10 minutes to get out. And that was around 1996.
1996.